Undertaking repairs to appliances can be hazardous. Be sure to use the proper tools and safety equipment notes in the guide and follow all instructions. Do not proceed until you are confident that you understand all of the steps and are capable of completing the repair. Some repairs should only be performed by a qualified technician. If your chainsaw is leaking bar and chain oil when not being used, chances are the pump is worn and needs to be replaced. The oil pump replacement procedure we'll show today is applicable for most chainsaws. The only part you will need is an oil pump, which you can order online at SearsPartsDirect.com or by calling 1-800-252-1698. Write down the exact model number from your chainsaw. Include dashes, periods, and other characters. You'll need this complete number to ensure you order the correct parts. The tools you will need to replace the pump are a pair of safety glasses, gloves, a wrench to remove the clutch cover, a spark plug wrench, a pair of needle nose pliers, a flat blade screwdriver, a Phillips screwdriver, a T25 torx screwdriver, a hammer, and a punch. Besides these tools, you will need a large organized work area, shop rags or paper towels, an empty oil bottle to drain the remaining oil, a funnel, and a piece of soft rope. We're using a 1/4-inch piece about a foot long. Remove the top cover, disconnect the spark plug wire, and tuck it out of the way. Then remove the spark plug with the spark plug wrench. Now remove the clutch cover, bar, and chain with gloved hands and the wrench. The instructions for removing the clutch cover, bar, and chain can be found in your owner's manual. When you are ready to start the repair, remove the oil fill cap. While holding the funnel in the empty oil bottle, tip the saw over the funnel to drain any bar and chain oil left in the saw. Once it is drained, seal the bottle so it doesn't accidentally spill. Pour the oil into a sealed container and dispose of it in accordance with applicable law. Most Sears Automotive stores will accept used oil for recycling. Call your local Sears Auto Center for details. Next, remove the clutch drum retaining clip with a flat blade screwdriver. Keeping one finger on the clip while removing it will prevent it from flying off and getting lost. Now that the clip is removed, slide the washer and the clutch drum off the end of the crankshaft. When taking the parts off, put them from left to right on the work surface. This will aid in reassembly later. Now look into the spark plug hole while pulling the starter rope slowly. Once the piston is at the top of the cylinder, stop pulling the rope. If you try to remove the clutch now, the crankshaft would turn with it. To keep the crankshaft from turning, feed the soft rope into the spark plug hole. Be sure to leave a little hanging out for easy removal later. Now turn the clutch with a gloved hand clockwise until it will not turn any further. Once the engine is locked, you can use the hammer and punch to remove the clutch. Place the end of the punch against one of the wings on the clutch so that it will turn the clutch clockwise. Tap the punch with the hammer. This will break the clutch loose. Then spin the clutch off the end of the shaft and remove the large washer behind the clutch. Now remove the T25 torque screws that secure the handle. Then remove the handle from the saw. Next, the chain brake needs to be removed. Use the T25 torque screwdriver to remove the screws securing the chain brake. Remove the chain brake and set it aside. Before removing the screws for the pump, wipe the area clean with a shop rag or paper towel. If you happen to have an air compressor, you can blow this area out. Once the area around the pump is clean, remove the 2 Phillips head screws securing the pump. Next, use a pair of needle nose pliers to pull the pump out. Then disconnect the hose from the oil tank pickup. Now use a straight blade screwdriver to pry the pump drive off the crankshaft. The pump drive is a tight fit, so it takes a little work to remove it. Before installing the pump, wipe it down with a shop rag or paper towel. Be sure to get the area as clean as possible to prevent sawdust from plugging the new pump. After the area is clean, use a deep socket or a small piece of pipe to push the new pump drive on the crankshaft. Be careful not to nick the seal on the crankshaft. After you have the pump drive installed, connect the hose to the oil tank pickup. Then slide the new pump over the crankshaft, making sure to align the rubber housing onto the frame assembly. Now secure the new pump with the 2 Phillips head screws. Next, position the chain brake onto the frame. Then secure it with the T25 torque screws. Now position the handle back onto the saw and secure with the T25 torque screws. Then install the large washer onto the crankshaft, followed by the clutch. The clutch only has to be hand tight. Next, slide the clutch drum onto the crankshaft and ensure it spins freely. If it is free, put the washer and the retaining clip on the crankshaft. You will need to use needle nose pliers to reinstall the retaining clip. Now pull the soft rope out of the cylinder. To ensure that everything was assembled correctly, pull the starter rope a few times. If the engine turns easily, install the spark plug by hand. Then, tighten the spark plug. Now reattach the spark plug wire and reinstall the top cover. With gloved hands, install the bar, chain, and clutch cover. Be sure to follow the instructions in your owner's manual on installing the bar, chain, and cover. Now, refill the oil tank and check the operation of the new pump. That's all there is to replacing the pump on your chainsaw. For repair advice, check out Sears PartsDirect's DIY step-by-step repair, or visit a Sears Parts and Repair Center if you'd like a trained Sears technician to fix it for you. You can find your local Sears Parts and Repair Center at searspartsdirect.com.